Hello everyone, it's Lisa here from Careful Minds again, and I'm here with the fifth of our meditations for Mental Health Awareness Week 2020. So I thought that today I would finish off with a very nice visualization meditation that helps us to think about the mental habits that we have and to identify in particular the good mental habits that we have, the ones that support us, the ones that help us to feel happy, safe and secure, and also to consider the bad mental habits that we have, the ones that lead us to feel anxious and help us to feel concerned. And the image I'm going to use with you is the idea of a hot air balloon, because when we don't focus on training our mind, then what happens is that we can feel that we're like a hot air balloon in the wind, by which I mean that we get blown about from place to place, mentally and emotionally, without really having any say on the direction that we're going in. And this can lead to anxiety, to worry, to feeling like we don't have that control which we really want to be able to have over our thoughts and feelings. Whereas when we can identify and learn to direct our mind towards the thoughts and the feelings that support us mentally and emotionally, and we learn to consciously turn away from the bad mental habits that challenge us mentally and emotionally, then we start to be able to control more effectively the direction of our hot air balloon, or the direction of our mind, if you like, and we can make choices, and thus we get that little bit of a sense of control over our emotions, over our thoughts, which really helps us to function in a calm, peaceful way on a day-to-day basis. So as usual, I'll invite you now please to sit yourself in your preferred meditation position, and just making that decision to take these few moments now simply to be, setting aside all thoughts of what you may have been doing up until this point today, or what you're going to be going on to do later on, and just be in this moment, and making a determination that you'll benefit as much as possible from engaging in this practice. And having got yourself comfortable physically, I invite you now to gently close your eyes if you're comfortable to do so, but if not, that's fine. You can just drop your gaze, adopting that soft gaze which I've talked about over the course of these meditations, just allowing your eyes to unfocus a little bit. And this is just a method that helps us to turn inwards, so we can avoid being distracted by the external features of the space that we're in. And so we start to direct the focus of our attention just onto our breath. And we allow our awareness to rest on the breath. If we like, we can observe the journey of the breath as we breathe in, noticing the changes we go through physically as the breath enters and then leaves our body. Or we can sharpen that focus and just concentrate on the sensation of the breath passing across the tips of our nostrils as we breathe in and then breathe out again. Now that your mind has settled a little bit, I want you to bring to mind an image, if you can, of a hot air balloon. And this hot air balloon is a representation of your mind. And just take a few moments to observe how that hot air balloon is doing at this moment. Is it gently making its way through a clear sky? Does it feel a little bit like it's been buffeted slightly from the sides by a wind? And you're just noticing, being curious. Whatever you notice, that's absolutely fine. It's the right noticing for you. Now I want you to contemplate the thoughts and feelings that give rise to positivity in your mind, the way that the hot air fills the balloon and causes that balloon to rise during its flight. The sorts of feelings that often bring that sense of uplift to us will be feeling love towards our friends and family, towards those who are close to us. We may have a mind of gratitude, the kindnesses that we experience. Our own kindness towards others may well be a source of mental and emotional uplift for us. Whatever those positive feelings are, just take a moment to be aware of those and to celebrate them. If you find that your mind has wandered, maybe you've been distracted by a sound outside, then that's okay. Just be aware that that's what's happened. Celebrate the fact that you've noticed that you've become distracted a little bit, and once again just start to settle your mind onto the breath. And when you're ready, just recall that image of the hot air balloon. Focusing once again on those uplifting feelings. Feelings of love, kindness, hope. And maybe taking a few moments to celebrate examples you can think of where those feelings have brought you that great sense of positivity, of emotional and mental well-being. Now we're going to focus on the ballast, I suppose. Those sandbags that sit around the outer edge of the balloon basket. And the purpose of these, of course, is to weight the balloon down. But we know, don't we, that when there's a little bit too much ballast, the balloon will struggle to fly. And in the same way, when we're struggling with bad mental habits or troublesome thoughts and feelings, then we can find it difficult to gain that emotional and mental uplift. So again, let's just take a few moments to contemplate, what are your personal ballasts? What are the sandbags that sometimes cause you just to struggle to lift and rise? And I'm thinking specifically about mental habits. So it could be the voice of the inner critic. You sometimes struggle to silence that voice if you make a mistake. It could be feelings of hurt, feelings of loss. There could be feelings of jealousy or anger towards someone or a situation. Again, just take a few moments simply to perhaps acknowledge instances where these bad mental habits and the struggle to let go of those have limited your capacity to lift, to enjoy, to feel that inner peace and happiness that is so important for us, for our mental well-being. As we're observing these, maybe recalling specific incidents, be aware you're not judging. You're simply noticing and acknowledging. And remember as well that these are things that have happened, but they're no longer occurring. So we can feel safe as we look at these things. And from this we can make a determination, can't we, to maybe change and challenge those poor mental habits that result in us experiencing difficulties at times. Maybe making a decision to learn to pause, maybe when we want to react angrily towards someone. Just creating a little bit of mental space so that we can choose a little bit more clearly what we want our response to be. Recognizing that loss unfortunately is an inevitable part of life. But we don't have to hang on to those feelings of loss, we can let those feelings go. In the same way that when we want the balloon to lift, we detach some of those sandbags so we can just let go of the more difficult thoughts and feelings, the more difficult mental bad habits that we have. And it's generated a little bit of self-belief that we can actually do that. Through being patient and through being kind with ourselves. Now just gently letting that image of the hot air balloon dissolve. But make a little determination just to follow and celebrate those good mental habits that bring you feelings of happiness, inner peace, and well-being. And to challenge, just challenge those bad mental habits that you want to change. Remembering all the time that you will do so with a mind of kindness and a mind of patience. Because these things do take time, but with practice, we can change. And so we come to the end of this meditation. You just start to become aware of the room around you, the space that you're in. If your eyes have been closed, then when you're ready, gently open them. Or if you've been using a soft gaze, just raise your eyes and allow them to focus once again. Thank you very much. I hope that you found that meditation of some use, and I hope you can find some use for it going forward as well. That's the end of my 5 days of meditations for Mental Health Awareness Week, but I will be posting again shortly. So please look out, subscribe to the YouTube channel. In the meantime, take care of yourselves. Stay well. Thank you.